All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. It is December 2nd. It is a new month. What are you going to do different in December? If you want different results, you have to take different actions. What do we say? Raise your standards. Anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Lab.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club, where this is going to be the 2024 December last edition before I ramp it all up. Stay tuned. Anyway, with that being said, it's a new month, and hopefully everyone had a great November. We had lots of action in November. We went over the turkey trot. From 62,000 to 85,000 plus, actually to 99,000 in Bitcoin. That was great. A lot of people made a lot of money now. I'm going to make a little funny caricature of the turkey handing off the baton to Santa. Now we'll see if Santa could take Bitcoin to 100,000 plus through year end. A lot of altcoins went nuts this weekend, so they say usually just like in a market when you go from the highest premium down to the lowest spec, things need a little bit of a break. Usually that happens in the market also, where you have the best stocks in the world making new all-time highs, and then you go down the food chain, and whenever you see the little ones start flopping around, you got to take a little step back and not just go over your skis. But anyway, at this point, if you take a quick look here, at the chart of the SPYs, you had a big move on Friday. Thanksgiving week definitely lived up to its positive type of feel, and we did have a nice feel. We had a lot of good stuff going on last week, and now we'll see where can we focus in December to make money without getting caught, because the sentiment readings are getting a little high out there. Like this week, a lot of people send me some information saying there are more bulls than there've ever been, and usually when the bandwagon gets playing too loud and everyone starts to listen to the music and get a little drunk, you don't hear that maybe the tire's running out a little air, or hey, maybe the transmission's going, hey, maybe we need gas. And then typically you got to kick some people off the bandwagon to get it going again. But either which way, here's a chart. We'll simplify it. SPYs held the 8-day. Remember 2 weeks ago, we held this big gap, went up to 601-ish, held there, and all of a sudden, boom, 603.35. If you look at the SPYs right now. So I'm like, Red Dog, it's a trap. I'm like, it's not a trap, guys. All it is down $1. SPYs are down $1. We were up 4. It's at 601.65, which is still above the prior high. So all in all, pretty good digestive type of action. You do have the jobs report this Friday. You have a bunch of things going on. It's a new month. We'll see how it goes. With that being said, sometimes I say you can't get too bearish if. It's like you can't get too bearish if, SPYs stay above this 599 area, and again, continue this active sequence. I feel like we've been in this active sequence for a while now, and guys are doing really well. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Red Dog's proud of you. Ever since the September 11th reversal day, I feel like I've been on, a pretty good, sequence myself where we're in a rhythm. What does a rhythm mean? A rhythm means you sell some strength, you buy a dip, you rotate the sectors, you add through price points, and you don't get caught. You put some hedges on into extensions and sell some premium, and like you're just moving around. And in order to move around, you got to think right. You have to be prepared. You can't just say, I'm going to be moving my feet all across the board here where you have no idea where to put them. Anyway, with that being said, Tesla, last week at this time, started off really strong. And I remember this little, they sold it down, which to me last week, I had bigger visions of, Tesla doing better, but it didn't really matter the size of the move that it had. All in all, though, talked about selling the 330 puts, staying involved, so it did perk up really well on Friday. I bought the stock back. I wasn't sure if it was going to break here and see the 21 day. Wound up buying the stock back. I also bought some options. Here's the Alpha team. The Alpha team gets to hang out with the Red Dog all day long. I'm on the radio from 9:15 to 11, talking through what I'm seeing. They're seeing me adjust. I have Tesla on, which is nice. I also bought some 360 calls, into weakness for this week, just in case it wants to go. It was upgraded. There's more talk about autonomous vehicles. I have a bunch of options across the board going on here, a bunch of things happening, and I'm going to stick with them. I think we've done a really good job staying with the trade. Out of Mag 7, people are like, Red Dog, what's the best looking Mag 7 for December? I'm like, well, I was telling you guys to buy the dip in Apple pretty much for the last 3 weeks. And this chart of Apple looks pretty good, really good, actually. We bought some options into this really, rising wedge. Some guys added through 230. It went as high as 237. I want to see a strong move through this 237. I would think Apple could be 242 to 245 in December if it wants to continue. Right now, Apple's only down 13 cents, and it had a nice move. So with that being said, I'm not, I don't know if I'm going to jump and add a ton of Apple, but I do have on Apple. You could see here from a lot lower, which was nice. I have the Apple 1220 245s and the 1220 242s, but I rolled them up. What I've been doing better, because sometimes it takes time to learn, is I've been putting a lot of money into an in the money strike. And then once it goes through and I get paid and I piece out of it using my tier system, on the pullback, I grab a higher strike. So I stay with the trade. I just do it with less equity. So less to lose if I'm wrong, but I stay with it. And anyway, so Apple looks pretty good as if it should be 243 to 245 in December. Even Amazon, I kind of got a little upset a few weeks ago when it came in really, really hard versus that, when it put that little top in at 215. But all in all, came in and retested this area. I got to give it to some of the guys in the stream, like Red Dog. All Amazon did is give you your Red Dog reversal sell right there at 215, right? After a big move, but again, it came down fast and retested this prior breakout area. Now you have a nice little bull flag above the 8-day gap right there. So as you can see, I am in some Amazon also, and some calls, from last week. So I'm Red Dog's in a pretty good position, just moving around, moving and grooving, and I haven't been in Meta. I might take a little look at Meta. Meta, as I said before, I feel like the glasses are going to be one of the biggest holiday gifts out there. I have the Meta glasses. They're pretty damn cool. Getting really tight in here. It held 550. If it gets above 577, you have a pretty much a middle to play up until about 603. Where's Meta this morning? Meta is down 14 cents. So I think Meta's just done a whole lot of nothing. That's the beauty of trading, is you can move things up and down your go-to list. Meta's been like on the B- list from the A list. Tesla's been on the A list. Apple's been on the A list. Amazon went down to the B- list and it's been on the B+ list. So you got to figure out where these things are in your pecking order. But I think Meta could be something into the end of the year. I might look into some kind of options. What I haven't been trading is I haven't been trading Google. I don't even think I should be putting it up. It's been a disaster. Microsoft got a little better. Microsoft has this pretty big channel here, kind of held higher, gave you a little Red Dog reversal on Friday, inside movement. I haven't traded this in ages, but if this were to get above this, just say 429, some people are already in from last week. The Red Dog reversal, when it went below the moving averages, came back up. Gets above there, there's some room to the upside. Not that exciting, though. NVIDIA and the chips have been hard. NVIDIA has been a pain in the butt. I did buy it, on that what's it called, Wednesday, and you had to move back to the moving averages. So I took that trade and I rolled it up. So what does that mean? It means into this move lower, I was buying the 135s. I sold all of them into that, and at the end of the day, it came in a little bit. So I bought some higher strike NVIDIAs, which were what? NVIDIA was 141s. It's down this morning. There's some news that the restriction, first the news for it to go up was the restrictions aren't going to be that bad. And then there's news that Biden's putting some restrictions on before he leaves. I don't really think many people care about what Biden's doing. So in my humble opinion, I feel like this dip will be viable. The low here from Friday was 136.05. Let's put 136.05. As long as it holds 136.05, I feel like the dip is viable. So anyway, and then as far as Bitcoin is concerned, Bitcoin's been absolutely fantastic. We've been in the miners. We've been in IBIT. I still have it. I'm going to buy more this morning. Bitcoin itself, it's kind of wedging here. So you can't, some people are like, oh, it failed again. Sometimes it takes time to regroup, and you have to know know what you can handle. And at this point, you have this middle ground here of this overall wedge. Okay. Sometimes even the biggest assets like this in the world need some time. And what they want to do is they want to make sure that not everybody gets a free ride. Think about how long this channel took here. This was an 8-month channel before finally getting going. And the bottom line is, came into the 21 who held 90. I would think, what's this? This is 94.6. So if it wants to make it easy, it holds 94. If it doesn't hold 94, it could still see a move towards 92.5 and then, hold this end and then give you the lower end of this wedge and then come in and just continue to digest, not stall, not fail. Hey, sometimes it does stall and fail, but digest for then what could be a better move into the end of the year. You're seeing a lot of altcoins go nuts right now, and don't fall for these altcoins. It's great when it's working. It's great. I had last cycle we had all these altcoins going nuts, but when the momentum breaks, just know that these altcoins could fall 99%. I've seen it happen, or 97%. So don't just start, having FOMO and it's full fun. You're playing all weekend long. Just know if there will be a short-term top, and there will be at some point, doesn't mean it's a long-term top. When they come in, there's more air in those things than in some of the politicians out there. But anyway, I'd like to see Bitcoin, if it does get here, hold a little bit higher, hold somewhere in here, which would be a little bit closer to 93-ish, or like right around here, and that would give you a low. Here's your high, low, higher low, and then all of a sudden maybe digest enough. So where would that be in the IBIT? If you look here, you had a little bit of a topping tail in the IBIT, which is why I got bigger into here. I trimmed some. I feel like buying into this 53.66 area could be a good spot, maybe even a little bit below. And then obviously you have to maneuver the miners. I feel a little rude. It's 6:43, and I can say hello to my dogs around the world. We got Sully in the house telling me to look at his phone. We got Bobby. What up? Bobby was there. Bobby knows that all coins could drop 99.9995%. Anyway, TSM up is good. Apple should benefit. All right. Who said that? What's up? Mario's got the YMCA dance. I've been doing the YMCA since I'm in junior year in high school. I MC bar mitzvahs for a living. That's how I paid my way through school without getting loans that got forgiven. I used to drive back and forth to Albany in between parties when I was promoting Twisted Tuesdays of Bogies, president of Sigma Nu, playing flag football, and I was doing YMCA on weekends. So it's not a new dance, but anyway, it's pretty funny. What up, Gianni Kristan from Hungary? I love having friends around the world. Makes me smile. So this is what I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to everybody who's either watching this on YouTube or on Twitter. Just so you know, come the new year, I'm going to have a whole new setup. So look out for it. It's going to make people good money and get you even smarter out there. But anyway, what up, little Curbster? We got Dario Dip. We got Iowa in the house. Good morning, AMC. So you guys want to talk about AMC? So I'll tell you, I went to the movies. Me and my dad. I posted a picture. We went to see Gladiator 2. I've probably seen Gladiator 1, over maybe that. Probably the only movie I saw more than Gladiator 1 was Rocky. But anyway, so I'm a Gladiator fan, and I liked it. It gave you enough little thoughts and little nostalgia from 25 years ago, believe it or not. And then there was a new storyline, kind of like Top Gun. They gave you some little things to think about the first Top Gun before you had it. So I'd go see it. And then you also had that little the Disney movie do well, and then Wicked. And I am in AMC. We'll see if they come out with some metrics. I'm not doing it as a meme. Stock's been in this crazy range since May 15th of 2000. It's about a long time. Went as high as what, 509. So it's not like this is having these stupid, silly Reddit whatever moves. Not saying they're stupid and silly, but anyway, I have a feeling that the weekend box office was probably bigger than it's been since the pandemic. And it's just whether or not it's going to respond. I didn't even look at it today. What's it doing today? It's up 6 cents. Woo! Anyway, it's not a focus. I do own it. I have some options if all of a sudden it did get a little silly. But again, I only get involved in these when the charts look good and maybe there's some kind of catalyst. So we'll see how it goes. What about Archer Tech? Hi, the Wolf. The Wolf is probably going to be down a little bit. All the miners will be down a little bit. If Bitcoin's down, the Wolf is going to be down. What I would do is I would probably say buy more of this into this little spot. What's this spot here? This is 733. I'm not sure if it's going to get there, but I'd like it to see it hold 733. If it doesn't, it becomes a little bit of a pain in the butt. These miners are just, they're not really good businesses. They're more like emotional trades. When Bitcoin's doing really well, those shorts get squeezed in the miners, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say 733 for that. Whereas Where's the Wolf right now? It's probably not even near there. Down 20 cents. Not a big deal. From the low end to the high end, let it pack and fill a little bit, and then let Bitcoin get stronger. And chances are, I think that miner will do just fine. As far as Mister's concerned, we played this stock like a damn champ, I tell you. But anyway, remember when I was like, don't chase it up here? We were buying reverse shorts for this, and now it's been just going sideways. I don't know. From 543 went down to 339. Remember, we were selling puts down there, made a lot of money. I've been making a lot of money into rallies, selling calls like $200 higher, and then into decline, selling puts and making good money with room, so I don't hyper focus on it. Because when you're trading Mister, you really have to trade it by itself. It moves so fast, and there's such a fine line. Plus, every now and then it trades differently. Like sometimes it'll go up even with Bitcoin down. Sometimes it'll stall out before Bitcoin. So I like to look for signals like relative strength, relative weakness, and sometimes it's hard to do with this one. So I'd rather just trade the ranges. And as of right now, Mister is down 6, right? So it's at 381. So what I would use for Mister is this low right here is what? This is the 381. Oh, that's 381 is Wednesday's low. If it breaks below 381, what could be next? What do you think? The logical spot is 372. Hey, look at that. Rocket science right here. And then the 21 days starting to move up. I sold some 295 puts, saying I think I'll be just fine selling these for $3-4. And if it gets here, at some point this week, I'll be fine owning it. Thoughts on DraftKings? DraftKings, it's all right. It's hanging in there. A lot of my institutional friends really like it. It's kind of slow, but as long as it holds in here, it looks just fine. I gotta say, McCaffrey. Anybody who's playing fantasy football, I feel bad for my son. He had the first pick. So did I. And no one said that McCaffrey was going to be injured. He was supposed to start week 1, and then the game that weekend, all of a sudden, is on the injured reserve out for 8 weeks, and then he has the nerve to come back. No, I'm kidding. And then everyone's whole rosters were all redone, and then I had to sit, the running back from Pittsburgh, and I would have won if I didn't think I had to go back with my number 1 pick. But anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. DraftKings, though, as long as it holds in here, looks pretty nice. Where perhaps it gets above this, 44-ish area and works towards 49. You feel bad for him? That's true. The guy, yeah. I'm not going to get into it. That's true. What's fantasy? Fantasy is a game. CCJ, LEU, the uranium came out and play. What, or is out of play? Let's see. CCJ. I don't think this is out of play. I think this is rebuilding. CCJ is the institutional favorite of this whole uranium group. I'm not sure what it's doing this morning. Let's see. CCJ is it's up 75 cents. CCJ looks good. CCJ has been buying a buy on the dip. My friends have been buying CCJ on the dip, and they're not complaining. Remember, we had a whole strategy here to buy CCJ into the 50-day, and now it looks like at some point it's going to take out 61 and probably be 64 by year end. Even the little ones, even the little fusion nuclear plays. You look at Oklo, that really was one of my biggest winners this year. This kind of is rebuilding, right? We had this at 1030, 11, 1260, went all the way up, and now it's been going sideways. I've been a little worried because NNE, which is another name in this sector, had 3 money raises, and this one didn't. So I'm like, they must have to have one, but they haven't. And now shorts are starting to, build up in here, and we get some news coming into the end of the year. Why can't this thing be 35? So, I have options in it, and I'm not over trading that. I'm sure CMC is hurting, worked hard. Oh, yeah, no, I hear you. You're right. I'm sorry. He did work hard, and he's a workhorse. The only thing is that I think he probably knew he might not be playing the start of the season, and he waited to that weekend. I guess it was a strategy. It could have came out and said maybe, probable instead of all in, but it's true. You're right. That's not nice. I'll lose my fantasy season. I hope he's feeling better. I'd rather do it that way. That's true. Anyway, with that being said, it's 651. So once again, SPYs are down a little bit today, coming in after a big move, a big squeeze into a shortened Friday. Not a big deal. We'll see what happens here. Some people think that this week tends to be a lighter week because they did so much work getting it up for Thanksgiving week, which is true. I think as long as we hold 599, you can't get too bearish. Chances are we might even hold higher than that. The Qs are looking pretty good. The Qs have this wedge. I saw a lot of people drawing the wedge. I love wedges. Wedges. They don't give you a wedgie, but so we'll see if this overall wedge pattern in the Qs winds up giving you a move to the upside, which could happen. Definitely could happen. Apple's been better. I went over a bunch of the Mag 7s. If this can get above 511-ish, which is right here, 511.45, chances are a lot of these mega cap names that have the buybacks might be in a little cruise control through December. Plus, if they're higher, no one likes to take sales and profits in December because guess what has to happen in 2025? Then you got to pay taxes on them. So typically into year end, the strong get stronger, and then the weak, get weaker because people don't care about them because they lost you so much money, and you're like, I just need some losses, so I'm just going to sell them. That's what creates the January effect, which we'll get into at another time. It's Monday. I'm here all week. Tomorrow I'm going to be in the city for Fox Business, but I'll be in my seat early morning to get the day moving. And I hope, again, you had a great holiday. It's a new December. It's a new month. Everyone goes back to zero once again. So you got to stack them, pack them, and rack them and get a paycheck. Or you get paid quarterly. I get paid quarterly. So to me, it's a continuation. And knock on wood, well through the highs of my year. And it's been a year where there's been lots to do, but there were a few pain trades that even guys like me got caught in, but that's behind us. And now we're just trying to make the right decisions at the right time in front of us. And how do you do that? By keeping the mind sane. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. I'll see you soon.